is it time that Becky Lynch fans start panicking? In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what is going on, why you might want to start worrying about Becky Lynch's future with WWE, because 2024 for Becky Lynch has been a really, really interesting year. It's also been a very interesting year for the company, because at a time in which they have continuously moved forward with Rhea Ripley, they also had to pivot because of Rhea Ripley and her injury. Now, with Becky Lynch in 2024, well, she started off strong. She had a very, very impressive performance in the Women's Royal Rumble match. Ultimately, though, Bayley was the one to win it. Ultimately, Bayley went on to WrestleMania. She challenged Io Sky for the Women's Championship, and she defeated Io Sky to win said championship. So, Becky Lynch, well, she had to carve out her own path to WrestleMania. How did she do that? Well, she won the Women's Elimination Chamber match, and she went on to WrestleMania 40 and challenged Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title. And it was a very interesting program, because I felt at the time that WWE had a very good opportunity to build up this feud. I thought, okay, we know the match is going to be great, but what is the build-up going to be like with these two? Because they are two really, really good promos. But I felt like the feud kind of was a little lackluster. And as we all know, Becky Lynch, she ultimately fell short when challenging Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title at WrestleMania 40. And she was going to take time off from the company. But things happen in the world of pro wrestling, because Rhea Ripley suffered an AC sprain joint in her shoulder due to a backstage segment with Liv Morgan. And as we know, they put the championship on Becky Lynch. They brought back Becky Lynch, who was slated to take time off. Now, keep in mind that her husband, Seth Rollins, who dropped the World Heavyweight title to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania for Damian Priest cast in Money in the Bank, well, he was also slated to take time off. And he actually got surgery done. And he's going to be coming back later this summer. Now, that leads us to right now, because Becky Lynch, she also falls under the category of a lot of talent in WWE in regards to their future with the company, right? Because there's been a lot of turnover due to the TKO merger with the UFC. Triple H continuously making strides in his creative leadership. Nick Khan working his magic behind the scenes alongside Ari Emanuel. And so Becky Lynch, she joins the likes of Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins and others, Kevin Owens, who either had their contracts coming up or was slated to expire. Well, they locked down Drew McIntyre. They've locked down Seth Rollins, and now they're looking to lock down Becky Lynch. There's only one problem, though. Her contract is coming up really, really soon, to the point where I thought, as a Becky Lynch fan, I'm a little worried about it, and I think you are as well, because Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select has the very latest on this developing situation, and it's quite interesting, because she is currently the world champion, but is doing so without a contract that's more than a month long, because it was reported last year that her contract was slated to be up in June of 2024, and since then there's been a lot made about her future, right? Rollins, he has a new multi-year big money contract with the company. Becky Lynch, on the other hand, not so much. So, according to the report, Lynch is still on her previous contract with the company, has not signed a new deal despite being champion. There have been ongoing conversations regarding a new contract. However, as of this recording, Becky Lynch's contract with WWE is up in roughly 3 weeks. Now, here's what we do know. Becky Lynch is slated to defend the Women's World title at the King and Queen of the Ring event against Liv Morgan just before her contract is up. So, let me break this down for a minute. Do I think Becky Lynch is leaving WWE? Well, I'll answer that question in a moment. Now, this tells me they were going into a situation at WrestleMania where they're like, okay, Becky Lynch's contract is coming up. We'll put her in a title program. It's a big money match. It'll make her happy as well, right? That was part of the negotiations. Also, coming out of WrestleMania, Lynch originally slated to take time off. That was probably a request by her as well, right? Get some family time. But they had to pivot. And so now you had it where Liv Morgan should have been the champion due to her injuring the original champion, but they decided, you know what? Let's put the championship on Becky Lynch. Let's give her a title reign. That'll make her happy during these contract negotiations. And in the time, whether it be the King and Queen event, whether it be Money in the Bank, whether it be an upcoming PLE, we'll eventually have Lynch drop the championship to Morgan. We'll get her under a new contract, and she can take time off, right? I think that's the way that we're going to go. A lot of people think she's actually going to drop the Women's World title to Liv Morgan at the King and Queen event. I don't know if I buy that. I think they're going to do some type of squash finish where Liv wins the match or, gets DQ'd, but she doesn't walk out as champion. I think that's just the route that they're going to go. Now, back to my original question. Do I think Becky Lynch is leaving WWE? No, I do not. I think Becky Lynch is a lifelong WWE person. She always wanted to go to WWE. She is at WWE. She has made great success in WWE. She has done it all in WWE. Every single championship you can hope she has held. Headline WrestleMania. Well, she was the first female to do it alongside Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 35 in 2019. I don't see a Becky Lynch going to, say, an AEW or a New Japan or a TNA. Like, let's be real. Just like her husband, Seth Rollins, he's a WWE lifer. Just like Drew McIntyre, he's a WWE lifer. The recent talent signings in which WWE has done, it's been to top-tier talent for top-tier money for long-term tenures, right? Like, that's their model right now, and rightfully so. They've built up this success of talent. They've built up this crop of talent, and you want to protect said crop of talent, and Becky Lynch is one of them. Like it or you don't like it, Becky Lynch is one of WWE's biggest stars that they have under contract, and they're going to clearly try to figure out a way to keep said talent under contract. I do not expect Becky Lynch to go anytime soon, right? Once she gets done wrestling, she will transition into acting. She has stated that she would like to do that. She has already shown that she has some acting chops. I think she'll do quite well in acting. But as it comes right now, Becky Lynch needs WWE and WWE needs Becky Lynch. And they will come to an agreement. And I'm sure that at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, they're in really good negotiations right now. I'm sure Becky Lynch is pulling out all the stops to make sure that she gets every single thing she wants, and I'm sure she will get just that.